Hi, it's Mark Zinkowitz, and welcome to a special edition of the German Nation podcast. We are highlighting the recipients of the Canadian Plant Breeding Innovation Scholarships for 2023. These scholarships are made possible by a variety of great sponsors: Alberta Barley and Alberta Wheat Commissions, C&M Seeds, Canadian Seed Growers Association, FP Genetics, Germination, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Richardson, Saskatchewan Development Commission, CCAN, Warburton's, Western Grains Research Foundation, and Seeds Canada. Jerome Bélanger of McGill University is expanding the cultivation boundaries of soybean. At 35 years old, he's known as an ambitious, original, and highly independent researcher who had his own idea to start a PhD research project aimed at identifying novel genes involved in the early flowering and maturity of soybeans using CRISPR-Cas9 and QTL mapping. Currently, his project aims to understand how to develop extra early soybean varieties to enable cultivation in Canadian regions like northern Saskatchewan and Alberta. He comes from an agricultural family. In fact, his dad was a vegetable farmer.
So I was always interested into this aspect, into this field. But as a lot of people know, it's hard to get into agriculture from scratch. So I decided to pursue on and study agronomy in the university. Keeping on my studies, I realized that I wanted more, and I was really interested into plant breeding, because plant breeding is really, it's the conjunction of art and science for me. And here I am finishing soon my PhD.
Art and science. It's an interesting way to think of a highly scientific field like plant breeding. But like all true artists, he finds inspiration in the people around him.
Every day is a great story. I always learn new, interesting stuff, like with CRISPR. But I know small gardeners that develop their own tomato varieties, and I find this so incredible. I find that the fact that you can do it on your own just as a hobby, I find it also very interesting.
He's also trying to develop novel genetic soybean transformation techniques that could increase the competitiveness of Canadian plant breeders and seed companies for other traits.
I'm trying to streamline the protocol to make it accessible to smaller companies, smaller labs that have less funding, maybe less technicians, workforce to do this kind of work. Just because even for myself, I need to go through this process because the classical technique is so long and the success rate is so low that I tried to do it, but now I'm trying to innovate and find a tweak to optimize it.
According to Jerome, being a good plant breeder today means learning the ins and outs of both the lab and the field and thriving in a number of different areas.
I think what makes a good plant breeder is someone who can take the most of all these different aspects. So the field work, the bioinformatic aspect, and also the molecular work. Because you can be a really good plant breeder on your own if you're able to do good crosses, selecting the best parents. But nowadays, as we know, competition is so high in the field that you really must understand all these different aspects and know how to combine them together to really increase the success rate of your breeding program. So I think a good plant breeder, maybe he doesn't master them perfectly just because like these fields of study are so vast, but he knows at least how to make the best out of all these components.
The 2023 Canadian Plant Breeding Innovation Scholarships are made possible by the Alberta Barley and Alberta Wheat Commissions, C&M Seeds, Canadian Seed Growers Association, FP Genetics, Germination, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Richardson, Saskatchewan Development Commission, CCAN, Warburton's, Western Grains Research Foundation, and Seeds Canada. Thanks for listening.